What is going on, guys? This is Miasin. So today I wanted to go over Monster Reborn, which I think is an interesting card. It's like that iconic staple that everybody used to play back in the days, to the point where it eventually had to get banned. And then I remember when Monster Reborn was banned, and then we had like 3 Soul Charge, and I was like, yo, how come Soul Charge is a 3 and then Monster Reborn is banned? And some people were actually answering to me, and they were like, yo, Monster Reborn is like way better than Soul Charge because, you know, reviving back one monster from even your opponent's graveyard and still having your battle phase and not paying life points is broken. Soul Charge is just garbage. Some people were like unironically saying that, which I think is extremely concerning. Nowadays, it's the exact opposite. I mean, everybody and their mother can agree on the fact that Monster Reborn is way below Soul Charge level. Monster Reborn is at 1, Soul Charge is banned, but Monster Reborn, I want to say, can even go back to 3. And it wouldn't change that much because it is still a relatively niche card. You can't play it in every single deck because, especially when there's cards like Shifter or when it's kind of hard to get monsters in the graveyard, this card might be live a little less often than usual. And also, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a really fast-paced game. It's not like, you know, there's always a lot of turns that both players can play. And, you know, you can back and forth and make comebacks with Monster Reborn. Maybe not so. But anyways, today I will be showing you guys a few nice combos with this card, as well as, of course, go over the card, you know, and its interaction and playability in the current format, and try to figure out whether or not it is worth playing in your deck and against a few decks. But before we go any further, a friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. It really motivates me a lot to keep making more card reviews and stuff like that. It's been a while since I last made them. And yeah, with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so combo number 1, assuming that I have a Snake Eye Ash and Monster Reborn and I get Impermed, I can almost go for full combo. I have to make a Relinquished Anima and then revive back the Snake Eye Ash. Even if I got Veilered, I'm not trying to revive back my opponent's Veiler because my Snake Eye Ash is still revived. So you still have to link this off into whatever link one. And then, yeah, now my Revive Back Snake Eye Ash is no longer negated, so I can send it with the link 1, either El Mirage or Anima, probably Anima, and then go for the Populace, which searches Original Sinful Snake Eye, and then go into Oak. You can't go straight into Oak, that's not gonna work because you're gonna lack 1 body. And then, yeah, basic Flamberge combo. I mean, you're probably, like, getting tired of seeing this every single time. It's really not fun, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of posts of people pretty much just fed up of seeing Snake Eye cards in the format, and I understand. It won like the last 8 YCSs or something. Anyways, we're already done with the first combo in a way, so yeah, you can still make 3 interruptions because we have Princess in the Grave, and then IP into SP, and then we still have Zelantis to pop during the battle phase, which is not like super relevant, but it's still something considering the fact that we are impermed on the Snake Eye Ash. But anyways, let's get into the next interaction. So I just demonstrated how Monster Reborn can make you recover from getting impermed or Veilered or Ash or whatever, so any one hand shot on your 1 Snake Eye Ash, you go Monster Reborn and you can semi-fully recover from it. But now the question is, if this card kind of behaves already as a semi-crossout or Call by the Grave, can it also act as a very good extender that allows you to make more interruptions to your board? We're going to figure out this right now. So yeah, normal summon Snake Eye Ash. The beginning of the combo is kind of like the same. We will also be searching Divine Temple, and we will be putting the Oak in the Spell and Trap zone, but I will be playing differently here. So instead of summoning Flamberge, I'm summoning Snake Eye Diabellstar, and then Monster Reborn, revive back the Oak, so I'm 100% disregarding Nibiru completely. Do not try this at home, guys. Anyways, Populace on the Snake Eye Diabellstar, and then place back the Populace, and then summon that, and then Oak Send, summon the Flamberge, and then make the Princess, revive back 2 monsters of Flamberge, and then I will be going Princess, revive back the Flamberge, and then place the IP. And at this point, I have a grand total of 3 spells and traps in total. So Monster Reborn, Divine Temple, IP. So if I go into Selene, I can revive back that Snake Eye Diabellstar. And I have a lot of bodies for, you know, Appaloosa and Harbinger because I got my 2 level 8 monsters. And I also have a Princess in the graveyard. So I got to do pretty much everything that the Snake Eyes deck wants to do with only just Monster Reborn and Snake Eye Ash, which is really interesting. So it opens up a lot of new doors for you. A lot of possibilities, and it can be a card that also allows you to be a little greedier or recover from hand traps really well. But now the real question is, can you play this card outside of Snake Eye? So usually when you think of Monster Reborn, you kind of think of, you know, combo decks and explosive decks that really just spam the graveyard and stuff like that, and really want as many bodies on the field. But Traptrix is probably one of the best decks at utilizing Monster Reborn because it can turn any Traptrix monster into a Link 1, so you always have something that you can get in your grave super easily. So yeah, normal summon Myrmelio and Monster Reborn is pretty much all you really need. You can go into Traptrix Sarah and then revive back the Myrmelio, and then that's a mandatory effect. Even if your opponent has no spells and traps on your field, Myrmelio still has to trigger, which triggers Sarah, get the Holate on the spell and trap zone, and then you can activate it right away by discarding the normal trap card that you search with the Myrmeleon. This can be any trapple card, and then you're going to be getting it back anyways, because when you summon your Holatea, that triggers the other effect of Sarah to summon a Traptrix monster from the deck. And then Dianea, on special summon, can reset back one of your trapple cards from the grave into the spell and trap zone. And then you can make a Pinguicula, which then searches Arachnocampa, and then you can make Rafflesia. Oh my god, okay. It's been a while since I last touched Traptrix. I think this is kind of obvious. But yeah, no, not too bad, huh? With Myrmeleon and Monster Reborn, we get to make double rank 4, a Trapple card. If we got a hand trap at any moment, Monster Reborn is a card that also would have been good in this position. So anyways, let's kind of talk about the card now. Alrighty, so Monster Reborn, is it really ever good when you get a hand trap in general? I mean, it depends on what you can do with the hand trap. If you're reviving back a card like Ghost Ogre, then you can even keep the Ghost Ogre on your field because, you know, it's in your opponent's graveyard. And Monster Reborn, that's the crafty thing about it. It's not just like the modern versions of Monster Reborn that can only revive back from your graveyard. So this is especially good when your opponent has nice cards in the graveyard, and Ghost Ogre is one of them. So it kind of adds one additional interruption, but it's not a great play unless your opponent really loses to Ogre. Then it's pretty nice. If your opponent has like a Kashtira Fenrir or something like that, or pretty much any monster that's really good in mirror matches, then, you know, Monster Reborn can be really nice. Usually when people summon Fenrir, they don't really link it off because then they will control a monster, so their searched Fenrir will just stay in hand doing nothing. So this might not happen too often, unless you have like Monster Reborn and like a Regeki. Then it can be really nice. You break your opponent's board, and then you get your stuff going off of your opponent's cards. So that's kind of nice, but at the same time, maybe if you see Fenrir, your opponent might be playing pure Kashtira, and maybe there will be a shifter somewhere, so it's not really super safe. Again, you gotta ask yourself the question, is Monster Reborn better than Crossout, Caught by the Grave, and cards like Lullaby if I am choosing to main deck the card? And if you're playing a deck like Snake Eye, Pure Snake Eye, or even Kashtira Snake Eye, whatever, they're all the same, or even Fire King Snake Eye, who cares? Or Melodious. It's not even like the 7 card, the package difference really makes that much of a difference, because again, like the rest of the deck is the exact same. But is Monster Reborn really any better than those cards? Well, first of all, it's a one-of, so you're only seeing this card anywhere between 12.5 to 15% of the time going first or second, which is not super often. That's like 1 game out of 7, which means like maybe 5 times in a tournament. That's pushing it, or like 6 times or something. So you're not always seeing Monster Reborn unless you're playing like Triple Tactic Thrust. Whereas cards like Crossout, you can play them as 3-ofs. And Call by the Grave, I mean, Monster Reborn and Call by the Grave might be comparable, honestly, if you're really trying to like use it as an extender. So I think they're pretty much in the same league, honestly, since both of them are one-ofs and both of them are pretty much like anti-hand trap cards. But again, it really does depend on the deck that you're playing. And Lullaby of Obedience is not a card that you're trying to main deck anyway, so I think Monster Reborn kind of wins that battle here. Monster Reborn is a little more generic because, again, you can use it as an anti-hand trap card or as an extender, which is really nice. Now, obviously, Snake Eye is the deck that utilizes Monster Reborn the best, but there are some other decks where I want to say it's really nice. So anything that, again, can summon just Link ones is just usually good, like the Dragon Link deck. If you have, like, any Rocket Monster, you make Striker Dragon, and then you go Monster Reborn, rely back, and then you can make Romulus, and then get your stuff going from there, but not really, because Savage is banned. Really unfortunate. So you're not doing too much. And any deck where you can, I mean, obviously Traptrix is one of them. Any deck where you can get cards in your graveyard super easily can be nice. So if you go like Fusion Destiny or like normal summon Stratos and then you link it off or something, or you fuse it off, and then you can revive back Stratos again and then use its effect again because it's not once per turn. All those retro decks, Monster Reborn can be really nice. I actually find it funny how this especially applies to the old school decks. So this is one of the very few times I will have to say Monster Reborn is better in rogue decks than it is in meta decks, which is a little weird because cards like Crossout, it's only really good in like tier 0 decks when you can play like all the hand traps differently, and then every single time you get a hand trap, you already have the card in your deck that you can counter because your deck has space for like 19 non-engine. Snake Eye, basically. Anyways, Lightsworn, you can get cards in the grave quickly, so I guess Monster Reborn might be good in it, but not necessary, because if you mill Monster Reborn, it doesn't do anything. But you can make the new... Well, it's a... Hold on a second. It's a White Forest Monster level 8 Synchro. Yeah, this card right here, not too bad. If you Synchro summon it using a Tuner Synchro, you get to recycle back any spell or trap card in your grave. So you might be able to take advantage of this even if you mill it. So yeah, there's definitely room for potential right there. And in Salamangrate, you also get cards in the graveyard super quickly. And it's also a nice extender, also makes you recover from Nibiru, which is this deck's kryptonite. But when you already have built-in Monster Reborn in the form of Whale, I just don't think this is a necessity. But I have seen some deck list of Salamangreat with Monster Reborn, and it can make sense. Now, I would definitely stay very far away from Monster Reborn in decks like Tenpai Dragon, Voices Voice purely, and even Despia maybe, even though it's not like super garbage. If you go like Branded Fusion, send Saronir and Fallen of Albaz, and then Lubellion, and then Saronir sends Lubellion. Yeah, the other one, there's like 10 Lubellions, well, there's 2, I think. But in like Tenpai Dragon, you don't really need extenders other than the ones that you're already playing, so I just don't think it's worth it. In Voices Voice, this just doesn't do anything because, well, first of all, if you go Normal Summon Novox and you get stopped, it's not like you can go like Relinquished Anima, then Monster Reborn, revive back, and then play from there. It's not comparable to Snake Eyes, so that's the reason why, you know, if your card only has an effect on summon and it's a hard once per turn, it's not really nice. And in Purely, all of your cards are extenders anyways, so do you need like even more useless extenders? I just don't think so. Now, the biggest argument that I saw with Monster Reborn and the reason why people were considering playing it to this format, even though, they were especially saying it at the very start of the format, was because you can go Monster Reborn, revive back your opponent's princess, but I just don't think this is a real enough argument, because if you do revive back your opponent's princess, yes, sure, you have to deal with one less interruption, which is cool and all, but at the same time, your princess that you stole, you can't really do too much with it. You can't link it off because then you're giving back your opponent's princess. And yeah, we're not trying to go neg 1 for no reason. That would be also very dumb. And if we go like Monster Reborn, revive back your opponent's Garunix, it also doesn't really do too much. But cards like Monster Reborn, by the time you get to use them, it's already too late. And that's the reason why everybody's reluctant to play those kinds of cards. But again, it can still have some nice applications, if anything, either in Snake Eye or in Rogue decks. Anyways, that's all I had for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know how you feel about Monster Reborn in the comment section below. I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.